case 7 to talk about. Oh, the Daybell case. We are going to trial, people, in April. Guarantee it. I guarantee, if you're old enough to get that reference. That was a Cajun cook. I guarantee. It is enough to make you drink. So Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow. First we'll talk about Chad's motions, and then we'll talk about Lori's. Chad's lawyer, John Pryor, he's a private attorney. He's not a public defender paid by the state, so he does not have to be officially death qualified to try a death penalty case. I believe that's how the law works. And he continuously files for severance, because Chad's case, it would be much easier if he can point the finger at Lori, and he wants more time. I think he wants more time to sever. I think this whole strategy is to sever the cases. So he has filed again for severance, and he has filed for more time for his DNA expert, and he needs more time for his other experts, and he needs more time. What he needs is for Chad not to have gotten into this mess with Lori. That's my opinion. I don't think Judge Boyce is going to sever the cases. We have co-conspirators charged with the very same things. Her alibi includes him. So it really is the very same thing. And they're already moving this case that's going to take 10 weeks to Ada County. They're not going to have a 20-week trial. First of all, and also, not only to hear it twice again, it gives the chance that perhaps there'll be a different verdict in each case for the same crime for co-conspirators, but also the time and money that it would take for the community. And the community pays for all that travel and time. I don't think it's happening. Lori Vallow of the Lori Vallow Daybell Case. Lori's lawyers are brighter. They are death qualified. She's got a chair 1 and a chair 2. They are trying their best. They have filed valiantly that the case should be dismissed because her right to speedy trial has been violated. And Lori Hellis on Children of Darkness and Light, a lawyer, has talked. She's writing a book about this case. She's talked a lot about this. But here's the deal. They're not going to dismiss these charges. And don't worry, even if they do, she's going right to Arizona where she's got murder charges, for Charles Vallow. So she's not getting out of any murder charges. This woman has wreaked havoc along numerous state lines with numerous people. But she asked for a speedy trial, which is a great strategy. It puts the prosecution on their back feet, trying to get ready. They got to hurry up, and it's hard because they don't have to just prove it they have to prove it without a reasonable doubt, and it takes time to build a case so there's no holes for reasonable doubt, which is why people ask for speedy trial. Unfortunately, so the Idaho law states, like most states, have this within 6 months. You can't just hold somebody indefinitely for no reason. She's been in jail for over 1,000 days. Now, that started in Hawaii because she wouldn't say where her kids were. That lasted for a while, and then they dropped those charges when they charged her with murdering her children, in which within, I don't even know how long after that, she couldn't even plead to it because immediately, I'm crazy, conveniently went into to get mentally, because they don't have reason by insanity in Idaho. They only have mental, if you're not mentally competent to stand trial, you have to go to be restored, at which time, however long that is, then you will go on trial. So she was almost not quite a year being restored to mental competency, and that was in April of 2022. And then within months, her lawyer had to be reassigned because it was Mark Means who had also represented Chad. And I don't know, seemed to have a really weird, just my opinion, weird relationship with Lori that maybe not inappropriate, maybe in love with her. I don't know. And then she was assigned a public defender, but she was still incompetent. And so the public defender, Archibald, couldn't work with her. I think that was also, Mark Means stayed on as second chair at that point. Then Mark Means was taken off in August 22. And then I think that was 2021. By the next April, she was found competent, and Archibald had that second chair, the other guy, whose name escapes me now. Then the clock started again. She was arraigned Then by the next August, she was maybe, or October, maybe she's incompetent again. They had a trial date set that was within her 6 months, but that had to be put off because she had to be reevaluated. Now that time they found out, no, she wasn't mentally incompetent and could stand trial. But that had taken up so much time. Now the Judge Boyce, he's from the Fremont County, the Rexburg area, but they have to keep working with the Ada County, which is Boise, the biggest city in Idaho. Work with their court system to get the time and space in a courtroom, even though everybody from Fremont County is going over to Ada County, they still need the courtroom space. And so every time they switch the trial date, it screws up. I mean, it's 10 weeks, which is a long time. Most murder trials, I believe, are a week to 2 weeks. So going 10 weeks is a crazy amount of time. A lot of expense, a lot of effort, and then having to arrange these, using this courtroom for a whole different county. So they had to redo that, and then it turned from January 9th, I believe, and then it had to be rescheduled for this date, which is now like 40 days or 36 days after when it would have been her 6 months. Now, the Idaho law does have exceptions to it, like if there's good reason. There's lots of good reasons. One, they have to, it's already, the venue's been changed to a busier county where they have to try to find space for this trial to occur. It's going to be 10 weeks long. That causes problems. And then on top of that, you had all these, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not, stops and starts, which isn't like her fault, but it did slow down that process, which, you know, asked for rescheduling. I say, no, we're going in April. We're having this trial. And I say, Boyce isn't going to give her what she wants. Oh, Lori. Oh, Lori Vallow.